Yes. Yes. Do I think it's like I'm threatened by her because she's Kathy Hilton and she's going to steal the thunder and the star of the show is Lisa Rinna? I don't know. Maybe that's part of it actually. But regardless, I just think it's more like nobody is immune. She was friends with Denise. She was friends with Kathy. I don't think she was as good of friends with Kathy as she was with, but she doesn't care. She just is doing the job. She's doing the job. So yeah, I think this is what it is. And she jumps on social media and she stirs it up and she's just doing the job. So yeah, I think it's Kathy. So that's the first part of that. The second part of that is, look, there's been, and Kim has spoken out. Kathy's even said, yeah, Kim has had talks with Andy. I think Kim Richards is one of the most underrated housewives when you really boil it down.
She's great.
She's great. So with Kathy, look, I think if Kim comes back, it'll certainly help them keep Kathy. Excuse me. I don't think Kathy's going anywhere. Everyone always thinks, they're calling for this one to be fired. We already talked about this a few weeks ago. I don't think Kathy's going anywhere. And, she said, I want to stay. This isn't going to scare me off. I don't know if that's really the truth, but I could see Kathy being like, you're not going to run me out of town on some, what she claims is a false rumor. I think Kim, let's bring Kim back, guys. There's probably,
I think we're setting the scene for it. I just think you're hearing so much about Kim Richards out of, not nowhere, but I think out of, we just haven't heard about her. And I'm like, oh, I feel like this is a play for, and maybe it's even a play, do we eventually, we know Kyle has hinted over and over, she's ready to leave, right? Now Mauricio is getting this show on Netflix, which we can talk about. And, are they almost setting the scene? Do the three sisters get their own show on Bravo?
That's rumored is how Beverly Hills Housewives was to start. It was based on the three Richards sisters, and then it morphed into Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But it's a concept that they've kicked around in so many different formats throughout the years. Listen, I say it is time to bring Kim Richards back. Bunny and all. Bring her back. I mean, could you imagine? And then her and Rinna, how that would go. And I could see her it's just like Diana. She has a history with Rinna. It's not solved. They got to work that shit out. So I just think Kim is one of the most underrated housewives. I think it's time to bring her back. I think the possibilities are endless of what could happen if they do bring her back. So I say, bring her back. I say it is time to bring Kim Richards back to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Okay. So that's that. Now, what else? Oh, okay.
Well, okay, keep going.
Kyle's show. I got stuff to say about that.
Okay, I was going to say, buying Beverly Hills. Do you want to talk about it? I mean, it's actually Mauricio's show.
And I have other news that I've heard.
Oh, I want the tea. Look, this is capitalizing. And I've told this to our audience before. Part of the reason I moved to Los Angeles is I want to be a producer. I've had long unscripted ideas, which essentially just means reality shows that I'm out here selling, right? And developing. I can tell you one of the big formats that people are trying to emulate nonstop is selling Sunset. So we now have Buying Beverly Hills, which is Mauricio, the agency. It's going to feature agents. I think they're real. I haven't dug that deep into it. It's going to feature Kyle's their daughters. Kyle is going to be on it, although they really are kind of pushing Mauricio. From what I've seen, I adore Mauricio. I mean, Mauricio wants to light up a joint and have a great time. I mean, this man seems fun to me. But he's a big deal out here. You drive all around Los Angeles, and I'm not talking just Beverly Hills. The agency's signs are everywhere, I'll go to an agency open house for Behind the Velvet Rope / the Sarah Fraser Show and document it. So they're getting the show. What's interesting is Kyle is openly telling people, yes, she'll make an appearance, but she's not going to be on it all the time. And she's actually advised her daughters and Mauricio not to do reality TV. It's so strange to me, yet they still continue to do it. She's like, look, 2 of my daughters are businesswomen. I've told them, don't do reality. Why do you want to do this? So will the daughters be on that much, or is that the selling point, but it's really going to be Mauricio selling Sunset?
You always make statements and there's so much to unpack. There's so much to unpack. Now,
hit me.
And then this is going to be deeper. There's so much to this, guys. Okay. First of all, anyone that's not watching $1 Million Listing LA or New York, I don't know what you're doing calling yourself a Bravo fan. They are two of the best shows on Bravo. Now, let's put that on the side because this does affect this. This does affect this. Now, let's get into Selling Sunset. The best show that's ever existed. I've already said this. The best reality show, along with The Hills and Laguna Beach, that's ever existed. Blows anything on Bravo out of the water. Now, we have a spinoff. It's called Selling Tampa. It's not the Oppenheim group, but it's Adam DeVello, same producers. Selling the OC is coming. I have seen the trailer. It's going to be insane. It is literally going to be insane. It is the Oppenheim group. So we have 3 in that genre. I don't think Buying Beverly Hills is part of the Selling Sunset, Selling Tampa, Selling OC series. I don't think it's Adam DeVello. It might be. I don't know. I want to do some more research. I don't think so. I think it would be Selling whatever. It doesn't shock me that this show is greenlit and going forward. Now we have the agency. Well, we have David and James from $1 Million Listing LA that work for Mauricio. David and James have announced weeks ago that they are leaving $1 Million Listing New York. They're done.
Interesting.
I think we're going to see them on this show.
Yeah,
we assume. We are. Let's just say it. We are. Come on. 1 + 1 = 2, guys.
And you're right. Contractually, that's why their names were not in the press release, right? Because they're still probably under contract, but you know what's going to happen. And this show is going to be, okay, keep going. And okay. I
mean, so we have David and James. We have 2 superstars from this show. David and James are great on TV. I've interviewed both of them. I don't see them leaving $1 Million Listing LA just because they're so busy at work. I mean, it ties into your work. So that's strange that they announce it, but they do. And now here they are. So I think, considering their boss is Mauricio Umansky, David and James from $1 Million Listing will be on this show as cast members, actually as full-time cast members. I think the girls are going to be a big part of it. I do. I really do. I think Kyle is advised against it.
Okay. Why do you think Kyle keeps saying no to reality TV and then signs up for it? What's just this weird? I don't know.
I don't know if Kyle really has any say in the matter. Mauricio is probably this is going to be good for business and I'm doing it. And, listen, the Selling Sunset, Mauricio himself will be Jason Oppenheim. I don't think he's going to get his hands dirty. He's going to be Lisa Vanderpump of Vanderpump Rules.
Sure.
Mauricio will come across looking good. Now, the daughters as agents, think about the great TV. Is there nepotism? How does this work when we're having a problem between Farrah